what was it like being on set, and what was it like working with that kind of heavier material? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like as a kid.
Yeah. Well, I think I was 11 or 12, I think, when I did that film. Yeah, I guess it was the first time that I'd worked on anything that was dark. And I was excited about it. You know? I'd seen horror movies when I was young, and the darkness of the material was kind of exciting for me, because I only, as an actor at that point, really worked on movies that were not necessarily made for kids, but were certainly kid-friendly and sort of family-oriented films. So I really enjoyed it. And I think probably from my mom's perspective, she was happy that I was not the evil person in the movie. I think she was happy that I was the good character. But I loved working on it, and I loved working on something that was a little bit dark and disturbing, and I thought what Macaulay was doing was creepy. Yeah, I have very fond memories of working on the film. It was great. There was a particular scene in the movie that was pretty scary and really fun, but very frightening at the same time. There's a scene at the end of the movie where the two of us are hanging off of a cliff. And I was we literally were hanging off of a cliff over Lake Superior in like -5-degree weather it was near Duluth, Minnesota, which is really cold. I'm sure you guys know cold, it's Canada. Anything you know already know. But we were hanging, and the conceit of that moment is that she's losing her grip, and every time she would lose her grip, the stuntman would let the line go. And it was awesome, but it was really scary. And the funny thing is, they told the parents, which was true, but they were like, there are safety boats down below. But the reality of that was, they were down below and 100 to 200 feet out that way, because right below us were rocks. It sounded good, but from my vantage point, there were no boats. All right, we'll go over there.
Hi, Elijah.
Hey.
I am going to ask you another New Zealand question, because I'm a total Kiwi file.
Oh, you're a Kiwi file?
Yeah, it's an Anglo file, but for New Zealand.
Yeah, totally.
So, a lot of us probably want to go to New Zealand. What is the one place you would recommend? Like, what's your favorite place in New Zealand?
Ooh, there's so much you shouldn't miss. I would say if Queenstown should be a primary destination, because there's so much around Queenstown. Queenstown itself is beautiful, both in the summer and the winter. It's surrounded by mountains, so in the wintertime you can ski and snowboard, and it's just beautiful during the summer. And the surrounding areas are just so picturesque and beautiful. I wouldn't miss Wellington. That's a personal bias, but I love Wellington. It's just a charming town, and it sort of feels like home. And if you're going there on a sort of Lord of the Rings pilgrimage, I would say, truthfully, you don't want to miss Hobbiton, because it's actually amazing. I realize that it's sort of like a very touristic thing to do, but they, I don't know if you know this, but after we made the Lord of the Rings, we shot in that same location, but the way that they built the exteriors of the Hobbit holes, they didn't make them with any sustainable materials, so it was all with polystyrene, so it was all taken down. When we were finished with the film, they took everything down, and what remained were these sort of fragments of these holes. So a lot of, they would bring tours in there, but they weren't really seeing Hobbiton. It was sort of, this is where Hobbiton was. But after The Hobbit, they built it all with sustainable materials and left it there. So when you go now, there's smoke coming out of the chimneys, the gardens are tended, and it's exactly as it is in the film. And that's awesome. It's actually magical for me to see it. It's really cool. It's like a real place you can go to. And the Green Dragon is a functional bar restaurant now, so you can go to the Green Dragon and have a pint and eat Hobbit food. It's pretty cool. I will say this though, it's really expensive. It's like $75 a person. I know, man. cheap, but it's like, guys, it's already expensive to get to New Zealand. Give them a break, man. But it's worth it.